Most defendants cry when they're on trial for murder. She laughed. From the very first day of the trial, something about Elena Cross made people uncomfortable. It wasn't what she said. It wasn't what she wore. It was what she did. She laughed. Not loudly, not hysterically, just enough for everyone in the courtroom to notice. Whenever a witness took the stand, whenever the prosecutor described the evidence, whenever the gallery grew quiet, Elena Cross smiled. Sometimes she even laughed softly under her breath. At first, people thought it was nerves, a defense mechanism, shock. But as the days passed, that explanation stopped making sense. Elena wasn't confused. She wasn't overwhelmed. She was amused. She sat at the defense table with perfect posture, dark hair neatly tied back, hands folded calmly in her lap. She made eye contact with jurors. She glanced at the judge. And when the prosecution laid out the timeline of events, step by step, Elena leaned back in her chair and smiled, as if she were watching a movie she'd already seen. The charges were serious: conspiracy, fraud, and the one that made the courtroom go silent every time it was mentioned: second-degree murder. The victim had been her business partner, a man who trusted her, a man who signed documents she prepared, a man who died under circumstances that, at first, looked accidental, until investigators followed the money. The prosecutor spoke slowly, carefully, as photos appeared on the screen behind him. Financial records, emails, security footage, each piece of evidence tightened the circle around Elena, and every time the pressure increased, she laughed. The jury noticed, the judge noticed, the victim's family noticed, most of all. His mother sat in the front row every day. She never looked at Elena, not once, but she could hear her. She could hear that quiet laugh echo in the moments when the courtroom should have been solemn. By the third day, whispers spread through the courthouse. Why is she smiling? Does she think this is a joke? Is she completely heartless? Even Elena's own defense attorney began to look uneasy. He leaned toward her more than once, whispering sharply, telling her to stop reacting, to control herself, to look remorseful. Elena nodded every time, and then she laughed again. When the prosecution called their final witness, a forensic accountant, the mood shifted. This was the testimony that tied everything together: the paper trail, the motive, the timeline. The witness explained how Elena had quietly rerouted funds, how she'd insured her partner weeks before his death, how the numbers told a story that no accident could explain. The courtroom was silent, and then Elena laughed. Not softly this time. It wasn't loud enough to be disruptive, but it was unmistakable. The judge's gavel slammed down. "Ms. Cross," he said sharply, "this is not amusing." Elena wiped at the corner of her eye, as if brushing away a tear of laughter. "I'm sorry, Your Honor," she said. Her voice was calm, almost cheerful. "I just find it interesting how certain narratives are constructed." That was the moment when even her attorney stopped defending her behavior. By closing arguments, the courtroom felt tense in a way no one could fully explain. It wasn't just about guilt or innocence anymore. It was about Elena herself. The prosecutor spoke about greed, about betrayal, about a woman who believed she was smarter than everyone else in the room. As he spoke, Elena smiled. The defense tried to explain it away. Stress, trauma, psychological shock. They asked the jury not to judge a woman's expressions, but the evidence. Still, Elena laughed when the defense mentioned reasonable doubt. When the jury was dismissed to deliberate, Elena leaned back and crossed her legs, completely at ease. She whispered something to her attorney and smiled. No one knows what she said. The jury deliberated for 7 hours. 7 hours of silence. 7 hours of waiting. When they returned, the courtroom filled instantly. Every seat was taken. The air felt heavy, like a storm about to break. Elena entered, smiling. She looked relaxed, confident, almost bored. The judge asked the jury foreperson to stand. "Have you reached a verdict?" "Yes, Your Honor." Elena laughed quietly. The foreperson unfolded the paper in his hands. On the charge of second-degree murder, the room stopped breathing. We find the defendant, Elena smiled, guilty. For the first time since the trial began, Elena Cross did not laugh. Her smile vanished instantly, as if it had never been there at all. Her posture stiffened, her hands clenched, her eyes widened just slightly. The judge continued reading the remaining counts. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Each word landed heavier than the last. The courtroom erupted into muffled gasps and quiet sobs. The victim's mother covered her face with both hands. Elena didn't move. She didn't laugh. She didn't smile. She stared straight ahead, breathing shallowly, as if the reality of the moment hadn't fully reached her yet. At sentencing, weeks later, Elena looked different, thinner, quieter, her confidence replaced with something tighter, more fragile. The judge spoke firmly, describing the severity of her crimes, the calculated nature of her actions, the irreversible damage she had caused. He paused before reading the sentence. Elena Cross, he said, "You showed no remorse during these proceedings. You treated this court as entertainment." Elena swallowed hard. "For that, and for the crimes you committed, this court sentences you to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 40 years. The words echoed. 40 years. Elena's breath caught. Her shoulders trembled. And then, finally, she broke. Not with laughter, but with silence. No smile, no reaction, no performance. As deputies approached to escort her away, Elena looked up at the judge one last time. Her voice barely carried. "This wasn't supposed to happen," she whispered, but it had. And for the first time, the woman who laughed through a murder trial understood the truth. Some people laugh because they think they're untouchable, until the verdict reminds them they never were. She laughed because she thought she was untouchable, until the verdict reminded her she wasn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime stories like this.